Hi again. In this PGBC Lite tutorial, we're going to be looking at encrypted data creation and how to use it. So PGBC works with encrypted data natively and with zero trust principles of least privileged access. This means that any user interactions are handled by the PGBC AI engine with the user having only limited knowledge of the underlying data structure. To learn more about our fully homomorphic encryption, please visit our website omniindex.io. Now, PGBC is a port of PostgreSQL and recognizes all of PostgreSQL's data types. However, really important to note that only the text data type can be used for encrypted data. This is because all data that has been encrypted is stored as hex for easier storage and access. If you want to see a list of all the data types that PGBC supports, please go to the postgres.org website where you'll be able to see everything there is on the data types that are supported. Okay, so this tutorial works hand in hand on our Discord channel under tutorials, and on there you will see that there are some exercises that you can follow through on. So to do that, you will need an internet connection, Postgres command line utility such as PSSQL, and a computer that's able to run that utility, and also a PGBC instance. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load up a PGBC instance. I'm going to go to dropblock.online PGBC_developer, where you can get a small free forever instance of PGBC. I'm going to put in an email address. And I'm going to press the sign up button. Agree to the privacy and fair use policy, press OK, and let that go and create our instance for us. So now we have that instance ready. If I scroll down here, you'll see we have our instance IP address, the port number it's running on, PGBC user, which is the super user, and the super user password. So now what I'll do is I'll move that out of the way. I won't drop it down completely because I'm going to need this in a second. Open up a terminal window where I will be running PSSQL. And what I want to do in here is type PSQL -u Postgres -h and copy this IP address for the host -p, so the port 5435, and -d, the database we're using, and press enter on that. There, I now need to put in the super user password. First thing I'm going to do here is alter that password. It is the same for all instances. So until you alter that password, your system is open. So to do that is password my PGBC password and press enter. So that role's now been created, or sorry, been changed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to create a new role that we can use with data. So the super user can't work with encrypted data. They can't read the encrypted data in plain text, and they can't access or do anything, manipulate that data in any way. So we need to create a new role, either a full owner role, which is what I'm going to do here now, or a select role that can only analyze the data without reading it, or whichever. There are other tutorials available on that, but for here, we're going to create a new role, which is the owner of this data. So create role SI Bain with login. Okay, we're going to now change the password, or give this user a password. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of the PSSQL utility. I'm going to up arrow and go back into it. I'm going to go back into it with our new role. Okay, you'll notice that I haven't given this role any permissions. And that's because the way PGBC works is all users, all roles are able to own their own data, access their own data, but they can't by default do anything else on the system. So if I do a standard create schema, it's going to come back and it's going to error out because I don't have access to do this. It says permission denied for database Postgres. However, I can do create chain s-ibane. Now, a chain is a specialist schema. For more about schemas and chains, please take a look at the Discord channel where there's a lot more information. But a chain is a special schema, and because we're a PGBC user, I'm able to create that chain, and it's now ready for use. So now in here I can put tables or blocks. A block is a specialist extended table that has AI capabilities automatically, as well as the ability to utilize. So we've now got two fields, one data encrypt and one just data. The one with encrypt appended to the end of it, PGBC will automatically encrypt everything that goes into that column. So if I press enter now, it didn't like that. Why not? That's because I didn't tell it what I was creating. Look at that, create block. So as I said, a block is an extended table. Create block, and that's the table created. My block table is created. Now what I can do is I can add data into there. So if I put insert into data encrypt is the column, and we will have Bane. It's a light search, so I do need to put in the percentages. Now we're now searching encrypted data. We are not, or PGBC is not decrypting this before searching. It's actually searching on the encrypted data, which means there is no lack of speed when the result set comes back. So just to prove that, if I was to change that to her, then we have that one record come back. So as you can see, it's fast, there's no degradation because we're searching encrypted data, and we can search on full text search on encrypted data system. So let me come out of that, go back in as the Postgres user, and I have to remember what my password is. I put up here my PGBC password, so let me just copy that. Now let's do the same searches as a super user. First of all, we'll do the search. It doesn't recognize that at all. It says there's an error in the search. So, okay, so let's change that and do a select star. Now, as you can see, there's no plain data here on data encrypt or data, and there's no data encrypt column. There's data underscore PGBC and data searchable. As you can see here, one is hex and one is numerical. The Postgres super user has 0 rights to access any encrypted data. We work, as I said at the beginning, on least privileged access. If you want to provide access to someone for search only, so not view, then you give their role select rights. If you want them to view the data, fully view as well as search, it's select insert and update. And if you just want to give them the rights to insert data and not be able to search at all, it's insert. So slightly advanced from standard Postgres, Oracle, or MS SQL data roles. So there you have it. Thank you very much for your time. That's how you work with encrypted data in PGBC. Apart from some very minor changes to the SQL, you work as if you were doing any other database, except for it's far, far more secure and enables you to work on encrypted data without decrypting it. Thank you very much.